The ice beneath Ron's boots groaned like an ancient creature stirring from slumber. At 73 years old, he had seen much of what the galaxy offered humanity, but nothing had prepared him for this moment. The frozen wasteland of Kepler 442b stretched endlessly before him, a planet claimed by human colonists 2 decades ago, but still largely unexplored. His granddaughter Era's voice crackled through his helmet. "Come. Grandpa, the storm's getting worse." "We need to head back to the research station." Rayan squinted through the swirling snow at something that shouldn't exist. A massive silhouette. Trapped beneath layers of ancient ice, its form serpentine and impossibly vast. Wings, frozen mid-spread, gleamed with an otherworldly iridescence even through the frost. "Era, are you seeing this?" His weathered hand pressed against his helmet display, enhancing the thermal scan. 20 meters away, inside the heated transport, Era's breath caught. Her fingers flew across the console, analyzing the data her grandfather's suit transmitted. The readings made no sense. Biological signatures that defied classification. A body temperature that flickered between absolute zero and something registering as alive. "That's impossible," she whispered. "Grandpa, whatever that is, it's been frozen for at least 10,000 years according to the ice core data. But the cellular activity, it's like it's hibernating?" Rayan had spent 40 years as a xenobiologist. Before retiring to this quiet colony world to be closer to Era, his daughter had died when Era was young, and he'd raised the brilliant girl himself, nurturing her passion for alien life. Now, at 28, she was the head researcher at the station, and together they'd found something that would shake the foundations of known science. "We're bringing it back," Rayan declared with the stubborn determination that had carried humanity to the stars. The extraction took 3 days. The storm that Era had warned about became a full-scale blizzard, but Rayan refused to abandon the discovery. When they finally transported the massive ice block to the research station's containment bay, every scientist on the base gathered to witness the thawing process. "Controlled thermal increase," Era instructed her team, her dark eyes never leaving the creature taking shape before them. 0.2 degrees every hour. The dragon, for that was the only word that fit, was magnificent. Scales that shifted colors like liquid metal, 4 legs ending in talons that could crush steel, and a head adorned with crystalline horns that refracted light into impossible spectrums. It was approximately 30 meters from snout to tail, with wings that, when fully extended, could likely span 50 meters. Rayan stood beside the containment field, his aged hand trembling slightly, not from fear, but from awe. In all his years, studying alien life, the methane-breathing Threxians, the silicon-based Quarithy, the hive-minded Zealands, he'd never encountered anything so clearly apex, so undeniably powerful. "Heart rate increasing," one of Ara's assistants called out. Neural activity spiking. The dragon's eyes opened. They were the color of dying stars, purple and gold, swirling in depths that seemed to contain galaxies. Those eyes locked onto Rayan, and in that moment, something passed between human and alien that transcended language, transcended species. Terror erupted in the containment bay. Alarm shrieked as the dragon's body temperature soared. The containment field flickered, strained beyond its designed capacity. Scientists scrambled for exits, but Rayan stood firm, and Era, brave, foolish, wonderful Era, stayed at her console. "Grandpa, move!" She screamed. The containment field shattered. The dragon rose to its full height, wings unfurling with a sound like thunder. Its roar shook the station's foundations, a sound that carried harmonics no human ear was meant to process. Frost spread from its body, covering walls and equipment in intricate crystalline patterns. Rayan should have run. Every survival instinct screamed at him to flee. Instead, he stepped forward, removing his gloves with arthritic fingers, and pressed his bare palm against the dragon's scaled chest. "Easy," he murmured, the same tone he'd used to calm frightened animals throughout his life. "Easy, friend. We mean you no harm." The dragon's massive head lowered, bringing its alien eyes level with Rayan's weathered face. A rumble emanated from deep within its chest, not threatening, but questioning, analyzing. The creature's breath washed over Rayan, carrying scents of ozone and something indefinably ancient, then impossible as everything else. The dragon spoke, not in words but directly into Rayan's mind. Images flooded his consciousness. A civilization of dragons spanning star systems, masters of technology that bent space and time. A great war against something from the dark between galaxies. A threat so terrible that the dragons had chosen to scatter themselves across the cosmos, hiding in frozen sleep until the danger passed. This one, the last guardian of the Kepler sector, had waited 10 millennia for someone worthy to awaken it. "Grandpa?" Era's voice was small, frightened. She'd never seen her grandfather like this, eyes distant, face slack, clearly in communion with something beyond human comprehension. The connection broke, and Rayan staggered. The dragon caught him gently with one massive claw, steadying the old man with surprising tenderness. "The threat," Rayan gasped, looking at Era with eyes that had seen too much. "It's coming back. The thing they fled from, it's found this sector." The dragon's wings spread fully, and through the station's viewport, Rayan could see space itself beginning to ripple. Dark shapes materialized at the edge of the system, vessels of organic nightmare. That made human warships look like children's toys. Era's console erupted with emergency transmissions. Every human colony in the sector was under attack. The dragon looked at Rayan, and the old man understood. Humanity had saved this ancient guardian. Now that guardian would save humanity in return. But it would need help. It would need the one thing humans possessed in abundance that even ancient dragons respected, the sheer stubborn refusal to surrender. "Era," Rayan said, straightening his back despite his years. "Contact the Colonial Defense Fleet. Tell them we have an ally. Tell them humanity's about to show these things why we don't stay down." The dragon roared its agreement, and the sound carried across the stars like a declaration of war. The old man smiled, resting his hand on the creature's scaled leg. He'd wanted a quiet retirement. The universe, it seemed, had other plans.